John Kimani, one of our viewers here, requested me to do a segment on Bolt considering he's a driver and he just wants me to bring awareness to the issue. And the best way for me to do that is highlight what's happening on both sides of the divide. We have the side of the client and the side of the driver, and so with no further ado, let's get after it. Starting off with the client side, number one of you tagged me in a video which I never thought I'll ever use, but here we are. So apparently there's a Bolt driver who openly refused to give his number for payment and instead opted to keep hovering around. Just have a look at this video.
Utatupia namba tukulipe ama twende nayo? Utatupia namba?
After nimekuleta hapa.
Haya. So si tushinde hapa the whole night. Msangapi saa hii? One something. Tunakuitisha namba tukulipe utupei. Kama uko na plan zako useme. Tumesikia hapa kesi nyingi za Bolt. So utupe namba ama sijui unataka aje ama tuende.
Sijakataa kulipa.
Hatujakataa kulipa but tupe namba.
Ama twende.
Sawa. Funga gate.
Those ladies are in the right. Once they get to their destination, all they have to do is pay and leave. Whatever else the driver was looking for can surely be sourced elsewhere. Number two, believe it or not, some Bolt drivers hata hawana huruma na mid-sized companies. Just have a look at what this driver did to Asunta.
So yesterday, my fans can attest that we did a very beautiful cake on live. We finished the cake, it was for somebody's wife. We ordered Bolt still on live there. The driver arrived and we packed the cake still on live and dispatched. Unfortunately, the driver did not deliver the cake. So along the way, I think he just decided, I'm not delivering this cake. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to steal it and do whatever I have to do with this cake. Now, he calls the client because he was delivering the cake at home and the client is somewhere else. So he calls the client and tells him, the cake has arrived and I'm requesting that you add me 500 because nimehandwa sana Bolt ziko on strike na kuna mtu amenispot. The client calls me and ananiambia kwa nini huyu jamaa ananiambia nimuongeze 500 nini. So I decide, let me mediate between the two. Yeah, so I called the guy 5 times. He did not pick my calls. I take another number, I call him, he doesn't still pick. I call again, he doesn't pick. So I call the client, namuuliza keki ilikuwa imeshafika ama kwa nini jamaa shiki simu? Akaniambia let me call home to confirm because hata sijui kama amefika ama ako tu hapo. So we call home, and mind you, this is like 2 hours later and the order was coming from Thika to Upper Roysambu. Definitely that's like a 30 minutes drive. So he calls and tells me the cake did not arrive at home. We call the driver from 1, 2, 3, 4. The guy is not picking. He's still on, but he's not picking. So we call him with Kathy's phone and he picks and says, hi. Yes, I'm a little busy, niambie. Namuuliza keki yangu ulipeleka wapi mzee? Ati he hang up. So now I decide to reach out to Bolt. I raise my complaint and everything. But all Bolt could tell me is that this guy has told them that nilim request, but I did not show up for the ride. What is that?
It's a shame what some of these people will do to mid-sized companies. Because once they gauge and see that trip yako, it is coming to 1,200 shillings. And the thing you're giving me to ferry is worth 20,000. I'd rather not do the trip and make my way off with this particular item. Ama kama ni chakula unapeleka point A to B na mimi niko njaa, wacha ikae nikule hii chakula. That is what is happening to some of the businesses in this country. And then as you have heard, dereva anaenda ahead of time to report the client to say A, B, C, D. So by the time the client is launching a complaint, they were beat to the punch. Now Bolt is in a position where they don't know who's telling the truth, who's lying. It is he said, she said, na kesi kama hizo, they go nowhere. So kama unajua wewe unafanya biashara, you have to constantly deliver to your clients. Get a rider or a driver that you have personal rapport with and that you can trust and be in some form of agreement with them. Let them do the back and forth. Juni mtu ambaye unaweza amini. Na akicheza unabadilisha. But some of these apps, they keep giving you different drivers. Some reliable, some unreliable. At the end of the day, it's not worth it. You have a reputation to protect as far as your business is concerned. Now on the flip side, the Bolt drivers are also suffering. For instance, we've seen an uptick of watu roho chafu kama Kenya Kwanza. Mtu anabebwa vizuri na dereva, anafikishwa mahali anaenda, and then after the app prompts them to give a review and they give a false review, which makes it harder for this driver to get their next client and put food on the table. Just listen into this.
Kuna dem fulani amerequest cab jana. Anaingia kwa moti, aniongeleshi na msalimia. Ako tu dry tu. So mimi nikanyamaza hadi trip ikaisha. Kumdrop kwenda dem ana report ati unsafe trip. Unsafe trip burukenge, nimejaribu kuongelesha, nimejaribu kuinteract na wewe ukajifanya hard kwa alafu unanireport. Sasa hizo ni gani? Na Mungu abariki wale ma client tu jaribu kuinteract na msio anafanya trip inakuwa fun. Hata ujuagi ukifika. Trip zingine unafeel gini kama unaenda Tanzania. Umebeba kimawe hapo kimekauka hapo nyuma hadi salamu kinasikia niko nataka kukiibia. Panda matatu. Mondo ukae peke yako huko kwa mwezi. Ngao.
Jameni, dreadlocks are not a reason to feel unsafe. You'd know that considering you live in a country where top goons are in nice suits and they move around with police escorts and convoys. So if you feel unsafe, we shuka from the get-go. My personal policy is just sit in the back left, mind your business. Heri dereva aseme we ni mtu mgumu wa uongei sana, but just mind your business and share your trip live with a loved one so they can see how you are moving. In case of anything, if there's a sudden stop, they'll call and be like, why have you stopped? What's not happening? But giving a false review, it's dishonest. Still on the driver's end, I'm hearing of a lot of frustration when it comes to licensing. Just have a look at this video.
Now, whether I'm a very mad person right now, I'm very angry with Bolt. I don't know what is happening with Bolt, but Bolt watu wenye mmeka kwa ofisi wenye anashughulikia documents za drivers na za gari, I think you need to change all of them. They are doing a bogus job. Like now, najaribu kwenda online since jana, naambia gari kuna mtu mwingine anatumia since yesterday. I've sent even a picture holding the newspaper and everything. You sent me a form to sign it. I signed it, forwarded it back. Mnasema ni invalid. Na ni nyinyi mlinitumia hiyo form. Sasa mtu anaweka documents zinakaa wiki bila kuwa verified. Yetu kuinje ukilipa 1500 hizo documents zinakuwa verified. So someone inside your offices is working on frustrating us drivers.
Bolt is a good app. They should just try to figure out how to make things work for the clients and for the drivers. I think for the client side, the only thing we need from Bolt is they should make it mandatory for each and every Bolt vehicle to have a CCTV camera, to have a dash cam, one that records video and sound, and it should be live so that in case of anything, Bolt can remotely access that footage and see what happened. Isikue he said, she said. Ndo hata kama unaingia kwa gari unapea dereva kitu afikishe mahali fulani, you have that discussion in the car knowing that that dash cam is recording everything and Bolt can access it remotely. And now in the case that Bolt cannot access it, the driver is automatically on the wrong. Because Bolt policy says you should have a dash cam that's functioning. Why was yours not functioning? Yada, yada, yada. You're on the wrong. On the driver's side, I think they should have an office where people can have a direct communication kwa mambo ya licensing na vitu kama hizo. But anywho guys, that's just my take. Do drop me your comments in the comment section below and I'll do best to read them and to give you a response. How do you think Bolt should conduct themselves moving forward? Just drop me your comments, I'll respond. And with that guys, here are today's ads of the day.
Right now, I'm with my team headed to a client's house in Ruto for consultation. That is to take measurements of the windows, go through our catalog with the client, and then once they decide on the color and the fabric they want, we'll get busy sewing, and at long last, the curtains installation will be on us. So if you're looking for curtains, shears, curtain rods, curtain accessories, reach out to Phoenix Curtains and Interior Decor and we will sort you out. Call us on 0724 414153.
If you're in need of electrical wiring, solar installation, or electrical fittings such as strip lights, snake lights, downlighters, or chandeliers, contact Engineer Wycliffe at 0707 476602 and he'll get your house dapped up. Now, if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula, hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. Alright guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.